Okay, I don't have the zones memorized, but we're really talking about drip zones 21, which is this one here, 21, and then we're talking about 20, which is this one and this one, and then we're talking about 12, which is over here, not the part that's in the gravel beds, but the other parts. And I'm going to go out of the pool house. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to start here on the corner of the pool house. So I'm going to start right here. There's the pool house, there's the corner, and I'm just going to start walking around to the north of the house. So the first thing we notice is that this ground here where I'm walking is actually not too wet. In fact, it almost seems like in places it's actually kind of dry. For the most part, the grass is okay there. It's a little bit burned out. Now, what you notice is as soon as you come around the corner here, that the ground starts to get damp. And when you get to this part here, it seems basically okay. There's still some burnout places. As we start to walk farther down, now we're talking about, I'm at the window of where the pool house meets the house right here. This right here, this is a complete swamp. You can see water squishing up through my toes as I'm walking along it. So I'm just going to keep walking along this way and noticing that it is very swampy, and I can feel water the entire way as I walk through here. I'm feeling it visibly wet. It's not as swampy over here as it was in that spot that we were just looking at. Now I'm coming to this little hook where the scupper is around the house. And this area here, again, particularly as you walk towards the house, it's extremely wet. Again, you can see this is the window that's below the media room. You can see water squishing up through my toes as I'm walking through it. You can hear the squishing. I'm going to keep walking here. This whole area here, as we approach the winter garden and the top area here, pretty wet. Again, I'm now across the way from that. You can see here's the corner here. I'm going down to my foot over this thing here. I'm going to show you the water again squishing up through my toes as I put weight on it. So I'm walking around now here. This is the winter garden here. Continuing around, I guess this is area. Now, we're okay kind of around here in the corner. But as we get again to the I don't know if you can see this here, but you can actually see the sod is like floating on a bed of water right here. This is the spot directly opposite the sidewalk. As you come off here, it's extremely, extremely wet. All the way through here, the sod is, look, watch this. Can you see that? The sod is just squishing around as water moves around my toes. So that is around here. It appears to be very wet. Now here, it's wet. You can see I'm going to give you a wider view here as I walk up to it. This is along Todd's office. You can see it's wet, but not as wet, and still the grass is actually very thin here. So that is the walk around the north side of the house. So it's really this area over here that you're seeing framed between the corner right here and this corner over there. This entire area is extremely wet, particularly around here. We got a big swamp, and over here in this corner. Okay, I'm going to keep the video running. I apologize for this, but I'm going to move around the house to the front of the house so you can see what's going on. I'm also going to point out something to Mike Arp while I'm at it, which is, it looks to me, you guys can see some patchy grass over here. I don't know what the story is there. Okay, so I think we've got drip along here. We're basically in pretty good shape. This feels nice. This is as we were approaching the front door. I did want to point out to Mike Arp that a couple of these, I don't know what these are here, U's or something like that, are are looking pretty scraggly. It doesn't look like they're doing pretty well. We've got, it looks like this. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 plants that are probably going to need some attention here pretty soon. Okay, now we're walking around and we're going towards the bed of Pachysandra that's back in the window here. And I'm walking in this area here. Again, I forget which zone this is, but again you can see, as I put here, you can see the water squishing up through my toes. So we've got a lot of moisture in here, and right here I'm literally sinking into the sod, as you can see how unbelievably wet it is. So that is this area here, right in this patch, right around here is where I was just standing, and that's pretty bad. I'm walking around the rest of this field here. You know, we've got some slopage into this drain, so I mean, I can feel that it's wet, but it's not like as squishy and terribly wet as the other areas. I'm now going to start walking down the path. You know, you can see sort of the edge of this being wet. Now this is the path going back around the south side of the house. And one of the things I think is important to note here is that a lot of the grass between the stones is doing very badly. Despite the fact that this is squishy wet right here, this is the first stone off the corner. You know, it's extremely wet here. But then as you move towards, as you move down these stones, what you start to see is that there's areas that are like concrete where it's getting no water and the grass is growing very badly. And my suspicion here is that we're going to have to dig up this dirt, loosen it up, put some new sod down. But for the most part, the sod's looking pretty shabby along this path. Now we're walking to the space, the kind of little courtyard before we make the right turn to go to the pool area. And it's wet in here, but in this area here, again, we're showing you, there's the water squishing up through my toes. Just to give you a perspective on where we are here, I'm going to back up. So that's this area here. There's the window, the hallway. These are the stones here. And right in here, this is the area where, you know, it's a total swamp. So I'm guessing the drip is being very effective. You can even see as we get into this area here, you can actually see a pool of water right there as we move around. So I'm going to squish through here. Again, look at this. Watch. Okay. I'm going to squish through here, walking around this side along. Now I'm going to start to walk along the corner here. Start to walk around this side here. So, walking here. This area is, you know, again, damp but not totally muddy. Here you can see we've got a very, very big patch of sort of burnt out grass that we're trying to seed in. As we continue around the corner, walking directly onto the pool area, this area seems to be okay. Now I'm going to walk straight west along the pool, along the south side of the pool. The water seems, or the ground seems okay here. Again, it is moist. I mean, I can feel that it's moist. I'm not sure if that moistness is an issue. Now as we get to the corner, we're starting to get, this is the corner right here by the speaker. There's the bed. Corner down here. So you can see where my foot is. We're starting again to see the moisture squishing up through my toes as I walk around. Right here, we've got big masses of water, big areas of spongy, dirty stuff as we walk along now. Again, the irony here is we've also got plenty of places here where we can't seem to get the grass to grow. So it's bone dry right here and along part of this edge, but it's, you know, unbelievably soaking wet down that side. Again, we've got bone dry areas here as we continue along the west side, walking towards the south. I'm sorry I keep changing the camera angle. I know that's going to be hard to look at when you watch it on YouTube. So this feels generally okay as we approach the northwest corner of the pool deck. Here's the big white pot. Walking around that feels generally okay. Now we're getting to the corner by the outdoor shower door. It's muddy there. Not as bad as some places, but still pretty muddy. And then again, here's that ironic thing, is that we seem to be soaking, and then we've got areas here where the grass just isn't growing, where it's totally destroyed. So now we've worked our way all the way back to the corner where we started, as you can see, and I'm signing off. Thanks.